ASMR Gaming News. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to ASMR Gaming News. Please hit that like button, sit back, relax, and let's begin. So, got a decent amount of news this week, so let's just jump right in with a really controversial piece of news this week that has a lot of Nintendo fans really upset. So, Nintendo basically announced this week that they are going to be closing the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U online store, which is called the Nintendo eShop, and they're going to shut this down within the next year, I believe. Let me get the exact date. I believe it's March 2023 when they're going to be closing it. But basically, this is going to make it so you won't be able to, March 2023 is when they're going to be shutting down the Nintendo eShop on the 3DS and Wii U. So, Nintendo fans have one more year of buying and downloading the games they really want, because after that time goes by, you won't be able to purchase anything from the shop anymore, because the servers are going to go down. Now, the problem with doing this is a lot of games are exclusive to the Nintendo eShop. There are a lot of games that were never released outside of the eShop. So, even though the 3DS and the Wii U came out before the Switch, there's still a decent amount of people that play their 3DS especially. So, for Nintendo to close the server for the store is a little, disappointing. So Nintendo fans this week, after hearing this news, made a big, commotion on social media. There were a lot of news articles and Nintendo fans on forums talking about this. I even watched a few YouTube videos from Nintendo fans speaking about this as well. So the common consensus seems to be that people are a little bit annoyed that Nintendo's closing it, but they seem to be happy that at least it's a year from now and not the next month or something. But a lot of similarities were made with comparisons were made with Sony. If any of you remember, a couple of months ago, Sony said they were going to be closing the PSP, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation Vita stores. And then Sony fans went absolutely crazy, so much that Sony was like, okay, we're not shutting down the PS3 store or the PlayStation Vita store, but we will close the PSP store. And that's exactly what they did, basically. So fans making a big deal about it kind of saved the PlayStation 3 online store, which is kind of cool. But the weird thing about this is the Wii U isn't even as old as the PS3. The PS3 came out 2006, so that's definitely much older than the Wii U and 3DS. Yet that server for the store is still online. So it's a little bit weird that Nintendo would already be thinking about shutting down the server. So I don't know, I hope they decide to, change their mind on this. I hope a lot of fans keep talking about this to Nintendo, because when they do this, basically it makes it impossible to play certain games. There are games on the Wii U and the 3DS that if you don't buy and download them from the store, you can never buy them ever again. They're not available to purchase outside of that store. So if you're a Nintendo fan, be sure to check out the games on the store. Get what you want, because Nintendo's going to be closing that, sadly, next year. So that was a big piece of news from this week. Next we have some positive news. So Cyberpunk 2077 released the update for the game, the long-awaited update that basically fixes like a ton of issues from the game, and it also released like the PS5 and Xbox Series X version of the game. So basically, for those that want like the quick summary of this, about last year, Cyberpunk 2077 came out, and the game had tons of like bugs and errors and things like that, glitches, and it did not get good reviews. People with like the most powerful PC were getting crashes on the game, and everybody was like really disappointed. So CD Projekt Red, the developers for Cyberpunk, they're the same people that made Witcher 3, one of the most important games from that year when that released. They decided to take a year to focus on fixing these problems with the game and releasing like an even better version for the PS5 and Xbox Series X. And that's exactly what they did. Like, this entire week I've been watching videos of like fans saying like, whoa, this game is so much better now. They fixed so many things. I've been seeing comparisons to another video game that came out a while ago called No Man's Sky. If you're not familiar with the story for No Man's Sky, it was a game that was extremely hyped up before it released. People were super excited for the game. I pre-ordered it myself. I have it on PlayStation 4. The game came out, and it was like nothing like they actually said the game would be. Like, it was missing a lot of features. There were a lot of weird bugs and glitches. People were really disappointed. They were refunding the game. The developers apologized, and they were like, we're gonna keep fixing the game and making it better. And to this day, they are still updating the game, that it's completely different, and it's amazing. Like, people consider No Man's Sky to be a fantastic game now. Like, it gets very high scores from people that have played it, just because they took the time to keep updating and changing and fixing it over the years. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing here with Cyberpunk 2077. So I'm probably gonna get the PlayStation 5 version, just because, you know, I want to check out how it plays on PS5, and from what I've heard, it's way, way better than the original release of the game. So I'm excited, and I have high hope for all these future updates for Cyberpunk. I'm really excited the game's like fixed. Another game came out this week, Horizon Forbidden West. So this is the sequel to the original Horizon game, and so far it's been getting pretty good reviews. I've watched like very few trailers and things because I don't want to get into spoilers, but people are saying it's a really good game, so I think this is definitely going to be possibly a Game of the Year contender for Sony at least. So that's really nice. We got 2 great game releases this week, so people are very excited. And the thing about Horizon Forbidden West and the original Horizon game that I like is that it kind of like mixes sci-fi with fantasy games. Like, for those that have never played the game has like a fantasy feeling to it, but it's a sci-fi game, and it's something that you don't really see that often. Usually games will decide to be either like fantasy completely, like Skyrim, or they're gonna go in the direction of like Mass Effect or something like that, where it's totally science fiction. And this game is like a balance between that. It's a combination of like old with new, and I like that a lot. Let's see, what else do we got here? So the Uncharted movie had a special collab with Fortnite this week. This was a highly anticipated collab that was actually leaked about a week ago. Some people got into the files and they managed to discover all this stuff before it even released. But Tom Holland got yet another skin in Fortnite for Nathan Drake, his character in the Uncharted movie. There are two styles for Nathan Drake. The video game version that we play, on PlayStation, and the movie version played by Tom Holland, as well as a movie version for Chloe, character in the movie and in the games. Also gets two different styles, so two Uncharted skins have arrived on the Fortnite item shop this week, which is really, really cool. And additionally, Fortnite has brought back the treasure map legendary item. So, for those of you that don't know, a long time ago, back in like the original season of Fortnite, I believe it was like season 7, where there was like the pirate ship and stuff like that. Fortnite released an item that was a treasure map that you would randomly discover, and the treasure map would have an arrow that you would have to follow to a location marked with an X. You pickaxe the ground, and then you can open a chest full of legendary loot. So that's back, and it's amazing. You can get like legendary shotguns, MK7 assault rifles, all sorts of things from these chests, and it's just amazing. So really happy to see that back. They added this because the new Uncharted movie, of course, has to do with like a treasure map adventure, very similar to this Fortnite item. So I think they decided it was a perfect fit to incorporate Uncharted skins with the return of this legendary item in Fortnite. So I absolutely love that. Let's see, what else do we got here? Okay, so the next Call of Duty game is apparently going to be a Call of Duty Modern Warfare sequel. And they're going to make a Warzone 2. And it's going to be developed by Infinity Ward. So, that's coming out in 2022, according to this leak. So, I'll explain this a little bit for people that maybe don't know, but the way Activision Blizzard makes Call of Duty games is that every year they have a different studio making the game. So right now we're getting a game by Infinity Ward, whereas next year we could get a game by a completely different studio like Sledgehammer Games or something like that. Usually the Infinity Ward Call of Duty games are loved by the fans. They've been with Call of Duty for a long time, and if they're making a Warzone 2, that's definitely going to be huge. So I know Collect and Play is probably going to be excited about that. And of course, a sequel to Call of Duty Modern Warfare will also be amazing. So I guess we're going to get yet another Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That's going to be funny. But yeah, apparently that's going to be releasing late this year. So we have that to look forward to. Let's see, what else do we got here? So a rumor has been circulating that there is going to be a remaster for GoldenEye 007. So GoldenEye is kind of an iconic, classic FPS game that released back on like the Nintendo 64. For many people, it was like their OG FPS game. It's very simple by today's standards, but it does hold like a classic status for kind of starting the FPS craze, along with like other games like Quake and Doom. So it's kind of important. So basically, a rumor suggesting that Microsoft is going to announce some kind of remaster of this game in the next few weeks for the Xbox, of course. So not sure how accurate this rumor is, but there have been a few leaks in the last few months that I remember also mentioning a GoldenEye remaster of some kind. So if they actually do this, that'll be awesome. I feel like a lot of people would just download and play the game just to check it out, maybe play this game that so many people have talked about over the years, because I feel like GoldenEye is kind of a part of video game culture at this point. It's kind of like a Super Mario 64, a game that is considered legendary almost. So, very important. And let's see. Funny interesting news about Gran Turismo 7. So, apparently, the PlayStation 4 version of Gran Turismo 7 is going to require 2 Blu-ray discs. That's insane. So, for those that don't know, back on like the PlayStation 1, a lot of games would come with like 4 discs, because games would be really big and CDs wouldn't have enough space for the entire game. So it's kind of weird that here we are in like 2022 and the PlayStation 4 is gonna need 2 CDs for Gran Turismo 7. I guess one is like the installation disc and the other one is what you're gonna play off of. But still, that's crazy. So yeah. Apparently the PlayStation 5 version will only need 1 disc though, so that's kind of interesting. That kind of shows just how powerful the PS5 is, I guess. Everything can fit on just 1 disc for that. Let's see, what else do we got here? Oh, this is interesting. I forgot to mention this. So Fortnite got an extra update this week that added gyro and flight stick motion controls for Fortnite. So that's really bizarre. Basically, if you tilt your controller and it has motion controls enabled, you're able to like aim just by moving your hand and tilting slightly to the right or the left. Now, I did not enable any of this stuff because, I don't know, I feel like my aim is already bad, and I feel like if I change things, it might make it worse. But some people are saying that the motion controls and the aiming actually is better with this feature, and they're getting more headshots and stuff like that, so I don't know if that's true or not, but hey, it's worth checking out. It just came out this week, so kind of an important update. And yeah, that's basically all the important video game news for this week, so thank you all for listening, for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. So long.